Hello there, folks. This is Michelle Pacansky-Brock. Welcome to the History of Still Photography. In this really brief tutorial, I'm just going to point out a few things that I hope will make your lives a little bit easier this week as you're getting oriented to the class and getting checked in successfully. So by now, you should have completed the first couple of check-in items, and let me just orient you to some of the ways that I have the course designed, which may be a little bit different from some of your other online classes, and this is going to be particularly important for those of you who've never taken an online class before. So let's go ahead and take a look over at the left side of your screen here. When you come into our course, when you log into Blackboard, this is what you're going to see. This is our landing page, and over on the left is what I refer to as the course navigation menu. At the top, the check in here button, that's going to go away after everyone's checked in. So that'll be gone pretty soon. But the other three blocks, block one, course info, block two, weekly content, and block three, resources, those three blocks will stay throughout the entire course. Okay? Course info is really content that refers to the entire course overall. So you're going to find general information about the entire course. Anytime you want to navigate back to the announcements page, which is what I think about as the landing page, just click that announcements button, and that's what you're looking at now. Okay, and it's always important that whenever you come into the class that you check the announcements and check to see what I've posted, and don't just read the most recent one, because sometimes I'll post an announcement once a week, but there'll be weeks where I'll come in and I might post two or three or maybe even more announcements than that. So be sure you kind of pan through and be sure you're up to date on all the announcements I've posted. I'll always try to keep them really brief, but they are very important. And then below that, you'll get acquainted with the syllabus if you haven't already. That's something that you'll get quickly associated with. And the VoiceThread guide is just basically an overview for anyone at MSJC who uses VoiceThread. So it's not specific to our class. It's going to give you more information about how to use VoiceThread and what it is. And it also has, let me just open it up real quick so I can point this out because it's a really helpful area. Down at the bottom, it gives you a place where you can try it. If you click on try it, it'll take you actually to a page that has a voice thread embedded, and you can actually leave a comment on this page, and it's nothing that I'm going to be checking. You don't have to worry about what you sound like or what kind of comment you leave. It's just a chance to try it out. Okay, so read the instructions, and think of it like a sandbox to just kind of, how does this thing work and all that sort of stuff. How we're going to use it in our class, you'll figure that out. You'll learn as we go week by week. I know sometimes, a lot of the time, students feel nervous about my class because I use different kinds of technologies that you're not familiar with, but I just want to assure you that I add things into the class very slowly so that it makes sense to you and that you don't get overwhelmed. I'm happy to help you as you go through the different tools, and if there's anything that you need help with VoiceThread or Ning, which are the two tools that will be used outside of VoiceThread or outside of Blackboard, then you certainly are welcome and encouraged to let me know, and I'm here to help. Okay, so course info, that's what you're going to find there. Check out the extra credit area and about Michelle also. The weekly content area is really important to you. You're going to be digging into this area every single week. And right off the bat, you're going to get very familiar with the way that our weeks work. Okay, I'm going to take you in right now to the learning units area because that's really important to you. When you click on this or this week after you watch this tutorial, you're not going to see three folders. I've basically released three folders just for the purpose of recording this video, but you will basically see a folder be released to you each week in the course. So in other words, if we were starting week 6, that's when you would see the folder for unit 6. Okay, so you'll only see the units that are applicable to where we are in the course. And the other thing I want to be sure that you are taking a close look at are the due dates. I have the dates informations in terms of when the unit starts and when the unit ends clearly marked. You need to be clear about the pattern that is associated with our learning units. I realize that every course is a little different, but this is really critical to your success that you get your arms around this ASAP. Put it on your calendar, your planner, however you organize your time. And if you don't have a way of doing that, that's something that's absolutely imperative to your success. Okay, I really recommend Google Calendar if you're someone that manages yourself mobily. It's an excellent tool. So our units, as you can see, and as you'll read in the syllabus if you haven't already, will always begin on a Tuesday morning with the exception of week one, a Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. And then your assignments will be always due on Monday at 11 p.m. Unless Monday's a holiday, then I'll give you until Tuesday. And that's actually what happens in unit um, in unit two, as you can see, because well, at least for the class that I'm recording this for. So just know that if a unit ends on a holiday on a Monday, then we'll roll it over until Tuesday. So take a look at that. All that information is always upfront and very clear for you. If there's any questions, you certainly let me know. You'll read about my late policy in the syllabus, and you're also going to take a syllabus quiz in week one, and that should work out any questions that you have. But if not, I'm the one that you're going to want to ask. I'm going to open up Unit 3 and just point out something, the basic overview of our learning units. You'll get really familiar with this over as the weeks go on, but I do my best every unit to include a welcome video from me that will play at the very beginning of a unit. Hi there, History of Still Photography students. I hope you're having. So it'll play embedded in the unit like that. Um, Usually about 5 minutes or so. If you are not able to listen to the video, if you prefer not to watch and listen, you can always click at the top where it says click here to read the transcript, and there will be a text version that you can read. Okay? The other thing about the units is that they always include a description communicating to you about what the unit is about, as well as learning objectives. If you're not familiar, if you're not used to having learning objectives with your units, they're really critical, and I want you to think about them as your milestones for the unit. You are learners, and these are your objectives for each unit. So this is what you should be able to achieve by the time you complete our units. Okay? So that's what you'll be held accountable for. How you will be able to achieve those things, or how it is that you go about learning them, that's what's in the content and activities folder. So the course itself is really designed around your learning. All right. So content and activities folder is absolutely critical in every single unit. And if you open that up, that's where you're going to find lots of stuff for you. And I will have a list of everything that you need to do, and this is where you're going to spend the bulk of your time. This is what you want to do, and I recommend that you do this every single Tuesday when the unit starts. Log in, get your arms around what's in here, know what you're responsible for. Don't wait to the end of the unit, because this will change every week. It's going to vary. Some weeks are going to be much heavier than others, and it's going to be up to you to be able to manage your time effectively. When you see folders inside of the content and activities folder, that means it's some kind of activity that's more involved. So this is a blog post that you have to open that folder, and it's going to describe what it is that you need to do. Okay, so this is a voice thread that I simply just want you to watch this one. It has a video embedded in it. And then at the bottom here is actually a voice thread activity. And you see it's a folder again. So if you were to open that up, it's going to be another involved activity. So I'm going to leave those for now, and you'll dig into those later. But those are our learning units. To backtrack in Blackboard, what I recommend that you use are the breadcrumbs at the top here. So if I want to go back to Unit 3, I would click on Unit 3. Okay, so now I'm back at the Unit 3 level. And if I want to go back to Learning Units, I can click on Learning Units. Okay. Um, I'm going to just say a quick word here about ning. You'll get more associated with that as we move into the next couple of units. But if you were to click on it right now, sometimes I get questions from students right off the bat because of what it says up here. It says membership is by invitation only, which is true. It also says if you have an invitation, click the link in the email to join. So let me say this, you are not going to get an email from me to join Ning. Rather, I will have a link in our Blackboard course that you're going to click on. So ignore the thing about the email and don't come to me and say, I didn't get an email, because you're not supposed to. Okay, so just sit tight for now and we'll get you to join shortly. Okay. And then lastly, under resources, area 3, and you're going to find a forum where you can ask a question about anything general about the course. If you have a specific question about yourself that pertains to the class, then please bring that directly to me through email. That's also where you're going to check your grades in the My Grades area, and then there's lots of student resources and Blackboard help available to you if you need it. So that's it, folks. I hope that helps you get off to a very successful start for the term, and I'm really looking forward to being your online instructor this semester. I hope you love this class as much as I do.